Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick MMA update. The fighters are 3 weeks and 6 weeks out from fights. So we have a big one coming up with Shogun, that's in Baltimore, and then the other guys are amateurs are fighting on with Stellar Fights, which is mid-May. So they have 6 weeks. The pro guys have 3 weeks, and I think we have I think we have 2 guys on that card, the Shogun card. So that's a big one. I'm thinking about going, but tickets are like $80 and it's in the city. So, as for me, I actually got compliments over Easter, on my arms and my abs, because I posted an ab picture showing that I had found them all, finally, yes, they're no longer in hiding. And I got compliments, and you know, I'm feeling very good, very confident, very excited about my Muay Thai. Like I've always been, you know, happy and joyous and Muay Thai centered, right? And if there were 3 morning Muay Thai classes, I would take them all. Like I would. I leave Muay Thai every time thinking, man, I should practice more. I gotta practice more. And I do practice a little bit, but I honestly do not practice regularly. And I should, but I don't. As for jiu-jitsu, I got my first stripe in jiu-jitsu, which I was super excited about. I've been doing it 6 months, and I understand the basics. Someone can say the Kimura, someone can say the Americana, someone can say the armbar, someone can say the triangle, someone could say, you know, from the guard, from mount, from side control, from blah, 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 from half guard. And I know what all those things mean, both in my brain and in my body. But I'm not quick with them. I am not fluid with them. And each week, to keep it fresh, because the morning class is an all-around class. It's not a beginner class. It is not a beginner class. I feel like I need to emphasize that. Like, I'm in there with blue belts, purple belts, people with 3 stripes on their white belt, you know, people that are just beginning. Like, so there's one new guy, yes, so I'm no longer the newest person. But, you know, it is a big mix, and a lot of the people, because they are with emergency services, or, you know, they do cooking, so they have night shifts, so they come to the morning class. And most of them pop in and out depending on their schedule, but they really are the purple belts and the blue belts. So, you know, I feel bad when I have to ask questions, because everyone else is like, yeah, I got that, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on right now. Can you do it like 3 or 4 more times, and maybe, you know, just show me and my partner, you know? So I still feel frustrated with that. And I honestly feel a little deflated. I have expectations for myself, because I know that I can do this. And the reason that I stuck with jiu-jitsu and did the 2 jiu-jitsu classes and the 1 Muay Thai class is because I knew it was going to be a challenge for me. I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew that it was something that my brain wasn't going to get right away, and my brain and my body don't always talk, you know. So what looks graceful for one person really looks terribly awkward for me. So I've been feeling a little frustrated. But the one thing that's cool about the morning class is literally we learn something different every week, which is frustrating for a beginner, because I really could do a month of arm bars, you know, from the bottom, from the top, from side control, from wherever, and it would take me a month to really practice and get that and be like, okay, now I feel comfortable. Okay, now I feel comfortable. Instead, we do crazy stuff every week, and most of the time it is advanced stuff, which is really cool for someone as a beginner, because you know, they're like, okay, now from this position you can do 50 million things, and I'm like, all right, well, I really just need 1. I realize that when I get better I'll need 50 million, but for right now I just give me one to do and practice and get in my brain. But instead it's a little overwhelming still, very much so. And I keep keep trying to sit down. I keep telling myself I need to sit down and make a list, because that's what my brain understands. And it doesn't seem all cool, tough fighter, MMA, but it's how my brain understands concepts and things like that. So I could draw a diagram, you know. Is the person offering you their arm? Take an arm bar. Is their neck available? Take the guillotine, you know. And, you know, a flow chart would be great. This is what I need to roll with. Unfortunately, because the kids have been sick, I lost 2 weeks this month, which I think is another part of why I've been getting frustrated. And I've been super busy with work, so I haven't been able to stay after and roll, which is another thing, because really you get your practice in at the end when whoever stays rolls and practices live with you. Because when you're doing it in class, you're like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Well, guess what? In reality, you're going to be smushed at step 1, and you're like, okay, I got to go to step 1 to something else now, or I have to defend, I got to shrimp out, I got to, you know, do something, you know, because I'm not even to step 3 yet, and I'm already screwed, right? So that's a frustration for me right now. Yeah. But I'm trying very hard to realize that I'm still brand new. I mean, this is over 6 months in, and I'm still brand new. I may understand the concepts. I may understand the basics. I may understand the dynamics. I may understand the goal. I may understand, you know, a little. But really, in the wide realm of the world of jiu-jitsu, I am still new and fresh, which is great because everything we learn is new. But it's frustrating because I still don't know how to apply everything. I was practicing with a purple belt who is huge. I mean, normally I avoid this guy like the plague, not because he's mean, not because he's harsh, but because he's literally huge. And you know, everybody else picked partners, and I was slow because I gave my friend the partner that I would normally choose, who is awesome. She's the teacher that I've spoken about previously. I wanted to make sure she had a good partner before I picked one. And I got stuck with the giant purple belt. So he was super cool. He was like, is there anything you're working on right now? I'm like, everything. He's like, well, do you want to try some of the things from class? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I really appreciate that. And we did that. And he's like, okay, well, what else have you been working on? I was like, well, I've been doing private lessons for the armbar, because that was something that I really struggled with and wanted to work some more on. And he's like, all right, well, why don't we try that? So we did that once or twice. He's like, okay, what else? And I'm like, well, I'm really good at the triangle. It's the one thing I'm really good at. And he looks at me and he's like, people can't really do the triangle on me because I'm so wide. Like, his shoulders are like, you know. So even though I have really long legs and I'm super flexible, I was like, yeah, okay, this isn't going to work. Never mind. Let's try something else. And I was like, well, what would you do? I was like, I feel like, because I was in mount, so I was on top of him. And I was like, what would you do? He was like, well, from here I would attack an arm, or I would scoot up to high guard position and attack the neck, and maybe do the inverted triangle. I'm like, I don't know how to do the inverted triangle. He's like, well, what about this? And named like some weird arm thing. I'm like, I don't know how to do that either. He's like, okay, so let's try from side control. I'm like, okay, so we switch positions. I'm like, now if it were me, I'd just stay here until somebody did something, because that's, you know, I'd wait out the timer. Beginner thought process, right? Don't attack, just stay safe, stay still, you know. And he was like, well, there's lots of things you can do from there. And I'm like, great, what? He's like, well, you could do, you know, you could do the arm bar from here. You just have to sit through, isolate the arm. I'm like, okay, you've already lost. Like, yeah, you've already lost me. I mean, he was really nice, and he tried to give good feedback. I think that he was just so far advanced that he couldn't remember the white belt mentality of, I know 2 things and that's it. Like, it's, you know, really, it gives me a lot to look forward to. That's why I keep reminding myself I have a lot to look forward to. There's a lot more to learn. I have survived thus far. And even though I've run into frustration and disappointment, that I haven't given up. And that was the entire point of signing up for something that was so different that I would not normally do at all, and making myself stick with it. So I'm, on one hand, really proud of myself for getting my first stripe and surviving my first 6 months. Because they say really that the first 6 months are the hardest, and they absolutely are. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on. If you haven't hit the 6-month mark, hold on. Okay? On the other hand, I feel like I should be catching on quicker, because now that I do understand the general concepts, I feel like I should be like, okay, now I should be jumping forward. I should be moving faster, you know, and I'm not doing that yet. So, in closing, lots to work on, but a lot of successes in Muay Thai. And it's funny, I feel like I'm coming along so much faster in Muay Thai than I am in Jiu-Jitsu. And I know logically that's because I have a martial arts background, and I've done martial arts on my feet before. I've never done martial arts on my back before, essentially. I was always told that if you make it to the ground, you're already aft. Don't end up on the ground like logic dictates. Don't do that. That's stupid. So now I'm studying a martial art that, you know, is trying to at least level the playing field in that situation, and that's why I like it. Because from a purely female standpoint, self-defense is going to be on the ground. I don't care who you are. At some point, if you are in a fight with someone who is bigger and stronger than you are, you're going to end up on the ground. That's just the facts, like, really. So it is safer for me, especially as I get older and frailer, to learn how to be able to do that. So, yes, and it has made me feel more confident. I remember doing the first time working on chokes and the back attacks. I was freaking the funk out, and now I feel a lot more confident because I know how to get out of the basics. And that's cool. That makes me jubilant, that I feel safer and stronger and more capable. I still suck. I still suck at jiu-jitsu. I do. But Muay Thai, man, I love my Muay Thai. And I just have to reiterate how lucky I am to have so many amazing people in such an amazing school, and so many people willing to help, be training partners, give tips and hints. You know, even the fighters, when we were doing Muay Thai forever ago, beginning of March probably, and I was sparring with a guy, and they were waiting, you know, to take the mat, so they had like 10 minutes, and they're bored, they were just hanging out. They're like, don't cross your legs, hit him with this, hit him with this. So, like, it's really cool that they all want to see everyone succeed. And I feel the same way about them. I want them to succeed. I want all the people that I'm in class with to do better, to be better, because I know that when they rise, they're pulling me up with them. So that's how it's supposed to be. I know a lot of classes are very sink and swim. One sinks, one swims. It doesn't matter to anybody else. But in the type of atmosphere that our school has, it is extremely supportive, extremely. And when he says kill the white belts, because yeah, he does do that sometimes. God bless him. He will tell the older belts to kill the white belts. I think it's just to keep our egos down. And I don't really have an ego about jiu-jitsu. I know I suck. It is, but it, you know, every time that I get submitted that I lose, and I don't really perceive it as losing, because every time that I get submitted, I learn something. You know, someone goes after the arm more than once, I pull my arm in, and I remember it, keep it in. I do, you know. Someone goes for the back choke, I figure out how not to let them get my back again. That's a big part of it. You know, they call it surviving, but it really is just how not to be vulnerable. And it's a super important lesson. I think that's a huge self-defense thing in itself, how not to be vulnerable, right? Because usually when you get attacked, it's going to be from behind. You know, if someone's coming after you to rob you for your wallet or whatever, They're not going to walk right up to you and be like, "Hi, my name is John. I have a weapon. Would you please give me your wallet?" Or, you know, whatever you have. I mean, like, well, now I know how to attack you because of Muay Thai. They come up behind me, I know how to defend myself because of Jiu-Jitsu. So what was supposed to be a short update ended up being 15 minutes long. I didn't think I had that much to say. I guess I did. But yes, if you are interested in doing Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu, shop around. Check out your local schools. Stay for a class. You don't have to participate. Watch. Because if it is one person versus another, somebody is always a loser. And that's okay when you're a white belt. Like, I don't mind losing. I acknowledge that I don't know everything in the world there is to know about Jiu-Jitsu. There's a million things that I need to learn. But if someone is constantly being put down and not being given feedback as to how to get better and how to grow, right? That's not a good school for you. Maybe it is, though. There are a lot of people that really use that to push themselves, to grow bigger. For me, that would be completely demoralizing. Yeah, that would suck butt. So the way that we're training as a team, like this really is, it's a team environment. Everybody grows. Everyone gets better. Yes, I'm going to lose a lot when it comes to rolling. I expect to be submitted at least once, if not 3 times during a 3-minute roll. That's how it is. I learn from everything. That's the stage that I'm in. And if you think you're going to be the best at Jiu-Jitsu, let me tell you, 5 years. Give yourself 5 to 10 years. And then you'll be the best, right? Maybe there's always something to learn. Always. Even the guys that are doing competitions, they're like, man, I should have seen that comment. But it was so simple. I didn't. So I am trying very hard to master the simple things. That is my goal right now. That's what keeps me going. But man, I love Muay Thai. And it's the teacher is starting to have enough confidence in me to start doing more advanced things, which is really nice, because normally it's me and a guy who's actually training to fight and another 1 or 2 guys that comes in, and sometimes Kat, the girl that I really like. So it is higher people. But we work on the basics. We work on combos. We work on strikes. We work on kicks, you know. We work on blocks and movement, because I still suck at moving. But man, today we did a hardcore drill and I loved it. But I realized that in order to be good at those advanced things, I still have to keep my hands up, my chin down, you know. I still have to keep my shoulders up and protect myself so I'm throwing punches, you know. I have to remember to move. I'm still getting that. That's going to be like my lifelong thing. Learn to move. But yeah, I love it. This is for me, very much for me. And I'd encourage everyone to try it. I really do. Take a few classes, take a month's worth of classes, you know, and if you hate it, stop. But give yourself enough time to think about, do I not like this because I'm not good at it? Do I not like this because it's difficult for me? Do I not like this because it makes me uncomfortable? Because I got to tell you, having a strange dude between your legs attacking you, it is a little strange at first. I mean, I guess I had brothers. It wasn't that strange to me. But for a normal person, that might be an issue. So really ask yourself, you know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But you tried it. You can say that. You're a fear. Try stuff. Yes, spring is a great time. It's great for your health. It really is. It's great for your fitness, cardio, you know, and strengthens a lot. I mean, 6 months took me to get my abs back, and that's pretty good considering I don't really do any other cardio. I haven't changed my diet. I haven't given up soda. Yeah. My arms kicking. Oh yeah. So consider it. Anyway, I love you guys. That's an update. I'll see you in 2 weeks. See if there's anything else to report. I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Enjoy. Bye.